The SEDAT HR Conference 2026 is here. Western Region, are you ready? Join us on 30th April 2026 at the prestigious Western Serene Atlantic Hotel, Takoradi, for the 5th edition of the SEDAT HR Conference. This edition will discuss authentic employer branding, purpose, people, and public trust. Gain insight from Felicia Opoku Felicia, Head of HR and Administration, Taka Ghana, Kwame Afren, HR Manager, Talo Ghana Limited, and Maame Gaisey, Managing Partner, 565 Consulting. Keynote address from Honorable Joseph Nelson, Western Regional Minister, and our special guest of honor, Nana Kobina Nketia V, Oman Healing of Isikado Traditional Area, and President of the Western Regional House of Chiefs. Are you a CU, HR professional, corporate communication executive, business owner, or a corporate leader? Then this conference is for you. Registration is opened in person 1,150 Ghana cedis, virtual 1,250 Ghana cedis. To register, visit hrconference.sedatconsultlimited.com or call 0591405555. Transform your workplace, strengthen your people strategy, and lead with impact. This edition of the SEDAT HR Conference is brought to you by SEDAT Consult Limited in partnership with Western Serene Atlantic Hotel, Good News FM, Cambridge College of Excellence, Revia, My Health Corp, HR Network, SHRP, Sky Power, Humanova by 3S Technologies, and Women Incorporated. See you there. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you. You are welcome to another episode of the SEDAT HR Digest. From wherever you are watching, let us know in the comment section. Let us know where you are watching us from, your name and where you are watching us from, and we'll be glad to read out that to our audience, right? It's another insightful episode, and we'll be having a conversation with one of our speakers for the upcoming SEDAT HR conference that will be holding at Takoradi on the 30th of April, right? And you can't afford to miss any bit of today's conversation. Once again, you're welcome, and this SEDAT HR Digest is brought to you by SEDAT Consult Limited, your trusted HR partner. At SEDAT, we help you focus on your core business while we manage your people, right from hiring to training to retaining to compensating your workforce. We handle that for you. So reach out to SEDAT Consult and we'll be willing to provide our services to your organization. Right. We'll be diving into the conversation soon. Once again, ensure that you have shared the link on your platforms to ensure that others join in the conversation. And as we begin the conversation, you can put your questions in the comment area and we would answer those questions. Right. I'm here with my co host as well, Mr. Joshua Jassy. He's here with me and we will be having the conversation together. Joshua, so glad to have you.
Yeah, same here, Supernatural. I hope you're having a super Sunday.
Yes, I am. I trust you are as well.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
We are going to be having a very interesting conversation together with our dear host. So I'll just briefly let you know who we are having this conversation with, and then she'll join us here and we will begin the conversation. All right. Once again, if you are watching us, this is the SEDAT HR Digest brought to you by SEDAT Consult Limited. Have your name in our comment section and where you are watching us from, and also do share the link to have others join us. Right. So today we are honored to have one of our amazing speakers for the upcoming SEDAT HR conference joining us here. Today's conversation is all about the SEDAT HR conference. Right. We have Maame Gaisey, and she'll be joining us. She is a people enabler and culture strategist, the managing partner at 565. She's known for helping organizations unlock performance by transforming how their people work, think, and lead. With a strong focus on culture transformation and leadership effectiveness, Maame Gaisey partners with organizations to move beyond business into meaningful impact, addressing what she describes as the attention and culture crisis in today's workplace. Her work centers on helping leaders and teams reclaim focus, reduce the hidden attention tax, and build high performance cultures that drive sustainable growth. As a trusted thinking partner to executives, she facilitates strategic leadership spaces that enable clarity, presence, and intentional decision making. She also equips teams with practical frameworks, including her presence protocol, to enhance productivity and focus in high demand environments. Her mission is clear: to enable people to become the driving force behind organizational success. We are going to be having Mami Gaisey join us right away and we will dive into today's conversation. Good afternoon, Ma.
Good afternoon, Supernatural. How are you?
I'm so excellent and so glad to have you here today.
Awesome. Awesome.
Right. So we'll be
Awesome.
going right into the conversation. But before that, what's that one interesting thing about you that you want to share with us before we dive right into today's conversation?
What will that be? That I could survive with only mangoes and carrots and water.
Interesting. That's
Yes.
really, really interesting. Right.
Yes.
This year's conference, the SEDAT HR conference, holding at the Takoradi Edition, focuses on authentic employer branding, where we look at people,
Mhm.
purpose, and public trust. I want you to
Mhm.
share with us briefly what this means to you personally and why you think that it's a relevant conversation that we need to have now.
Thank you very much, Supernatural, and thanks to everybody joining us from whichever part of the world. It is very interesting when we start talking about employer branding. And we are in a space where I'm telling you, people are turning away fat checks and big envelopes to join enterprises because of culture. So now at a certain level, of course, at the entry level, Charlie, the dude or the young lady has to eat, right? You're just out of school, you're looking for something. But for me personally, I think this theme brings to an end a lot of the cosmetic stuff that we do as HR people. As people manning the most relevant capital of our businesses, it is important that we notice or we come to the realization that nowadays transparency is a lot, and transparency has become very instant. The last time I was having a discussion with somebody, and we were actually worried about how documents go round. I mean, documents that you obviously can figure are released in very confidential spaces. So, authentic branding is really moving away from your usual marketing, your usual EVP posts, your usual, if you like, what you want to sell, to a lot more internal reality. Whatever is happening in the enterprise is going to be out. If managers are treating the employees right, it will be out. Because if you have, yesterday I was talking about multiple generations and how we manage them. If you have a Gen Z in the workplace, the person's not going to wait till the performance review to give you the feedback. They're going to take pictures, they're going to take videos, even if it means going anonymous. These things will go out. So now the internal marketing has become the external marketing directly. So, however, we are dealing with engaging our employees is how the external market or publics will see us. So, we are shifting from selling jobs in our companies to inviting individuals to, if you like, a purpose or a bigger mission that they can trust. And we need to start having this conversation. And for me, it's very big because what we do at 565 is really anchored around culture, everything culture and people. So I think that for me personally, this is a conversation that's long overdue. And for SEDAT to make it a mainstay at the Takoradi edition of the HR conference is, it couldn't have come at a better time, honestly. So for me personally, it represents an end to a certain era in HR, opening a new one.
Right.
Yeah, really
Just
interesting. I can feel your passion through the way the way you're going
Yes.
on about this. My question for you is, why do you think culture has become such a defining factor for organizations now? I'm asking this because you'll be talking about how culture can be used as a competitive advantage, and then how organizations can create a workspace that people are really, really proud of to be a part of. So why suddenly culture has become such a prominent issue in every organization?
when I decided to invest in certifying as a culture consultant, and I mean, the certification was no mean cost. So, one of the things that one of the colleague, and very clearly from a caring place in her heart, asked me is, Mami, are you sure these Ghanaian businesses understand and are willing to invest in culture? And I said, maybe not now. And this is about 9 years ago, right?
Wow.
10 years. This is about 9 years ago. And I said, maybe not now. But what I could assure her is sitting in the sessions and listening to the kind of things that we're learning and the focus on how we could equate. And this is not qualitative, it's not a softy HR kind of nice to have. This is a conversation about the bottom line. This is conversation about the return on asset. This is conversation that I have to have with the CFO or a board chair. It should tell you that we've moved from a certain economy where it was labor, people would come to work, would pay them well. Maybe we'll try and do a few things in the name of engagement. And we've moved to an economy of meaning What exactly does this job mean? What are we doing here? And you're getting these kind of questions from children at home. My sister called me last, and my nephews, who are just 11 and 9 years old, are asking why they have to go to school. What's the real meaning in waking up every morning and doing the trip in and out? They were not questioning the learning, they were questioning the act of going to school as part of the learning process. Why can't they learn differently? So people are asking questions. We are sitting there in a CFO. I know a CFO of a very good multinational. One day, no what's my calling? No redundancy pay, nothing. He just resigned. And he's already in his 50s. And I'm like, dude, so people are meaning in going into the space of meaning, which makes the culture capital the real big deal now. And when we talk about the fact that it is a competitive advantage, I don't think we talk about it enough, because culture is literally the operating system. So when you ask me what's the culture, I say that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be asking about the big SOPs and the strategy, because truth be told, strategy can be copied now with AI. Just put it in and something will pop up. Values are repeated, missions are copied. So culture is really, and you can buy technology. Yesterday I was on a call, we're using StreamYard. So long as you can pay for it, you have access to it.
Yeah.
So culture is this one thing about how we do things. So you and I can have the same strategy. Say both of us want to become HR directors. We can have that same vision. But how we are working towards it is the difference. So if the board is watching the two of us, they're interested in how the two of us are working, not so much about our certificates and the fact that we come to work at 8 a.m. So culture really is almost the inevitable competitive advantage that cannot be copied. That's it. So George, if you're asking about why it's defining now in our businesses, it's because it is the pivot around which our companies are revolving. And when there is crisis, is the culture that will define how the employees stand with the leaders. When there are good times, it will define how people celebrate. When there is competition for jobs, it will define how people work towards this. So big deal. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, looking at your personal journey, I want us to narrow down your experience because I believe it will bring life to a lot of people. Looking at your personal experience, what points in your journey did the culture affect you, either positively or negatively?
Thank you. Supernatural. The truth is that I started my career in very good places. So worked in media, had some stints in public sector, went straight into multinationals, and kind of accelerated.
Yeah.
And I finished my corporate life in my mind in multinational. So everything was good. Up until then, I'd had amazing bosses, colleagues I could challenge. I was usually either the only female, the only young person, in some instances the only black, sometimes the only African. But I wasn't a statistic. Why I know that is because when you're bringing something to the table and you'll be
Yeah.
told this. Until I left certified in this culture work, and I was busy, trying to work around this, and another entity, an enterprise, reached out to me to support them with their HR function. I was like an internal consultant. And I tell you what, the impact of the culture that we're trying to create in terms of the negative impact on me was a defining moment of me saying it was worth every dollar I put in my certification, because up until then, I might have reached out to clients with this mindset of, when you go to a workplace, this is a multinational, you know what you're doing, things are transparent, you know where you're going, all of that. Until you realize that actually some businesses, no matter how big, are run revolving around the desires and the precepts of one person, and everybody is working to please this one person, and it didn't matter what the strategy was, it didn't matter what the policy said, I mean, it was just one person and everything revolved around. And I'm telling you, it was like this for me.
Mm.
My internal values, my internal ecosystem, meeting that kind of environment was, it was something else. And when I tell you that the culture of a place, and it happens from everywhere. I mean, don't go too far. For anybody watching us, listening to us, that has not been in a corporate environment, I'm even talking about your personal relationships, home,
Mm.
friends. It can affect your health directly. So when I say that culture is actually a bottom line conversation, I mean it. Because it could affect the number of times employees are going to the hospital and utilizing the health benefits, right? So negatively, I have come face to face with an environment that was not conducive. And I've
Yeah.
also worked in, I think most of my career, I've worked in amazing work environments. So I can tell the two. I don't work from a place of, I don't talk from a place of theory. I know what this
Yeah.
is. And it's real for me because I lived it. Yeah.
Can you? You've had both negative and positive. Just share a little of how it has impacted you positively as well. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know if it's just me. I cannot really hear you. No, but can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. If you could kindly check if you are muted. I cannot hear you. Right. So as we figured that out, if you are watching us, this is the SEDAT HR Digest brought to you by SEDAT Council Limited, your trusted HR partner. And we want to know you. So put in the comment section where you are watching us from. Put in the comment section where you are watching us from, and we'll be so glad to read that out to our audience. Right. So SEDAT has a few trainings coming up. We'll look at that briefly. You can also share the link to have others join us. We have a few trainings coming up, and you want to make sure that you are signing up for these trainings. We have a training coming up in Kumasi and one in Accra. In Accra, we have the HR analytics for strategic decision making, that's turning workforce data into business results. And that is going to hold on May the 27th to 29th, and it goes at a fee of 3,600 Ghana cedis. You want to make sure you sign up for this training and join us. It's a 3-day packed training, right? The registration link is being displayed in our comment area. We make sure that you sign up right away to be a part of this training. We also have an upcoming training on effective training and development, planning and conducting an effective training and development that's going to be held at our Kumasi office. It's a 2-day training holding on the 28th and 29th of May, and it goes at a fee of 2,600 Ghana cedis. The registration link is being displayed in our comments area. Please make sure you sign up for this training right away. Right. I see John watching from Akosombo. John, we are so glad to have you with us today, and we believe that as you've joined us, you've already begun to pick up a very insightful thoughts from our speaker today, Maame Gaisey. Right. Wherever you're watching us, let us know in the comment section, and also ensure that you share the link on your various platforms to have others join us with today's conversation. Right. All right, so I think we'll go back, diving right back into the conversation.
And
Yes,
welcome
Joshua.
back. Hopefully you can
Thank
hear
you.
us. Yes,
Yes, I can hear you. And can you hear me as well?
Yes, we can
wonderful.
hear you.
You
Awesome.
can. All right, so let's get back to where we left off. So what are
Yes.
some subtle signs that you let you know that there are some organizations that have made a name out there? On the outside, everything looks like it's perfect, but people go in and then they realize that no, this is not it. So you as someone who has done this for so many years, what are some of the signs that you know that you can share also with us today so that we will know if an organization looks good on in the outside, but maybe inside is not worth our time? Can you share some few signs with us?
Yeah, I can. Some of the very basic ones are when we have meetings before and after the meeting. You might, and it's kind of, it comes off at first as a nice thing. Can we align, George? Can we align before we meet Supernatural? So it's like, okay, for me, it's a sign that I cannot say certain things in that meeting that will not shut you up. It's different when we are aligning as a team to go present to an external client, to present to the board. You understand? But when we in like an exco meeting, we have meetings before the meeting and after the meeting. That's a red flag for me. Also, when we have meetings where people cannot express dissenting views, we don't have to agree on everything. Sometimes we agree on the destination, but the how. So we all come in to see that Kumasi training, for instance. Somebody wants to use Kofodia, somebody wants to fly, somebody wants to use Insawam, somebody wants to go through the central region, somebody wants to go all the way to western region and connect back to Kumasi. If we cannot express all of these options and agree that based on the resources, the time, and the target, we need to all go by this route. But I have to zip it, and after the meeting now has, I really wanted to, then there's a problem. When we have instances where people out of habit, they can just recite their mission, vision, values, but we are unable to pinpoint behaviors in everyday work life that underpin these vision, mission, and values, we have a concern. So, off the top of my head, these are some of the few things I can share, but there's so many of them. Um, yeah, so just yeah, I can go on and on, but for the sake of time, yeah, I'll just say these will be off the top of my head where the signals will show. We need to relook at this. Yeah.
Thank you. We will look out for them.
Yeah.
And you were sharing on how even the culture can affect the health, literally the performance of
Yeah.
the employees. Why do you think that some organizations, some leaders still do not see how culture affects performance in their organization?
Thank you. One of my favorite lines, and why I have to be very honest with my own profession, is why HR people are unable to negotiate investment in this is because they are not able to show it on a spreadsheet. Look, like it or not, say whatever you want about culture, no matter how great. If a business leader cannot see the benefit directly in business results, it will be difficult. They will find it as one of those HR things. Immediately
Yeah.
HR comes up as cost center. You don't bring any benefits, it's cost center. Even as SEDAT. I mean, the commercial team is busy selling courses, busy engaging. And the internal HR team is making sure that the team feels good, is working well, the back end is supported and everything. if Madam Patricia has to make a decision right now as a business leader, she's going to have to look at what will be able to get the company to pay salaries and overheads. Plain and
Right.
simple. So don't let us fuss around it. It is because they struggle, see the numbers around it. That's why I said that for us, we don't do this as a softie. We actually show the bottom line impact. We can
Right.
tell you what you're losing in the business because the culture is not right. And there's always a legacy that culture is an HR department thing. It's a business leadership conversation. It has to start from the boardroom. The CEO, the MD, whoever is leading the business has to champion it. Otherwise, forget it. Yeah.
So I'll ask a follow up to that. One needs to sit in the minds of leaders to assess this thing. So we cannot put it on paper, we cannot put it on a spreadsheet. But is there any mindset shift that the leaders need to have so that they will see culture for what it is?
Just like we talk about learning and development, they must see the impact of the absence of it. So when you do not have a thriving culture, what are you cultivating? And what is the cost to the business? Like I said, then Supernatural used it as her premise for this question is health, lost time, lack of trust amongst colleagues, and healthy competition. We want competition. Oh yes, me, if I have a sales team, I want people to go out competing, coming back for commissions.
Yeah.
But when it becomes unhealthy such that it borders on basic human relations, then there's a problem. So, in the absence of the ability to show the numbers, you need to at least tell them the impact it's having on the team.
Great, great, great. I want to ask this question. Um, we are all trying to build organizations that our workers, employees, the leaders are proud of. What's one uncomfortable truth that we need to accept before we can even begin on this journey, before we can put in place the right structures to make sure that this thing happens for us sooner rather than later?
Um, can I be super honest?
Yes.
We need you to be.
The true culture of an organization is defined by the worst behavior a leader is willing to tolerate, especially for the sake of delivering on KPIs. George, Supernatural, you've seen it. I'm a leader. I know. I mean, sometimes I have to catch myself. I'm like, what am I allowing? What am I, by omission, commissioning for a team member to do? So let me give a very practical example. You have a team, maybe you have the highest performing team member, brings in the goodies, is able to work, delivers, um, speaks quite disrespectfully to team members. You know, as a leader, that this team member is misbehaving around this. But well, he's my highest performer. So we let it slide. First instance, second instance, and that's it. It happens at home. The child that's brilliant at school is obedient, will do what mom and dad says, is really speaking down to the siblings. And we allow it. And that's it. That's how the culture of mistrust and everything else will begin. That's it. So what the bad behavior that a leader is willing to allow for the sake of delivering on business results is a true culture of the organization. You can color it, you can fuss around it. That's it. It's very big.
That's very eye opening, especially with companies that are very performance based, like with
Yes.
commissions and then sales and all those things. People
Yes.
break all sorts of rules just to make things happen, and they get applauded at the end of the year. So yeah, I totally understand that.
Yeah.
Um, my last question for you before Super comes back in. So now we have established this. We want to lay the foundation. what is the first step that we need to take before we lay the foundation for a culture that we are proud
Measure. You can't
of? Okay.
manage what you don't know. So measure. And don't even, for those of you who are running businesses with 2 people, 3 people, 5 people, don't say, oh, these things they are for the big organizations and multi. No, 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 no. Wherever there are two social beings means where 2 people are, there's a culture. So even between a couple, there's a culture. Between siblings, there's a culture. So culture is not when we have a huge grouping. Culture really is wherever there are 2 or more social beings, there's a culture. In animals, because they have a social conduct, there's a culture. So there's a culture, whether you know or you don't, it's there. And for the bigger organizations, there are subcultures. So you have to measure. So we have tools that actually come in to measure. So I can tell you what you're losing on your investor capital because of the culture at play, the energies that are not required to be in the room that are here because of that. So we need to measure. So that's the first step. Once the leadership agrees that we want to build a certain culture, measure what exactly is at play now, and we'll build on from there.
Thank you very much.
Amazing, right? Very insightful.
Mhm.
You mentioned earlier how that there's been a shift now, shift from selling jobs to inviting individuals to purpose, to
Yeah,
mission.
yeah.
So we're now looking at on a daily basis
Mm,
how leaders can ensure that their employees are experiencing, beyond what is written in the document, they're actually experiencing the culture of the
mm,
organization. How can they
mm.
go about that?
For us, we our work on culture is actually very hinged on values. Values. And I've seen, I don't know about SEDAT, but I can bet if I came in and asked for your values, I'll get how many? 5 or 6? How many values do
Yeah,
you have? Yeah,
7.
7 values. And if I pulled all of you apart without Madame, without anybody who started the business and asked you, Supernatural, give me 3 of your values.
Service,
Mm-hmm.
excellence, deliverables,
Mm-hmm. Good.
attention to detail,
So
timeliness.
let's say with the top three: service,
Okay.
excellence,
Excellence, less and timeliness.
and timeliness. What does timeliness not mean to SIDA? What does it not mean? Because until we define what timeliness mean in SIDAT, timeliness is actually an English word. Uncle George, you can find it in the dictionary.
Yeah.
Timeliness is a word. It could mean anything. So, as an organization, the first level is to define the values, what they
Okay.
mean and what they don't. That's where we go. Now, when we are building SOPs,
Yeah.
go to market strategy, people strategy, our finance strategy, our everything, our talent strategy, these values must be visibly embedded. So, Supernatural texted me weeks ago. In fact, before we enter the year, I get the invitation to a program that was supposed to happen in Q1. That's timeliness. So now I won't sit here, and if he said that has timeliness as value, I'll be like, okay, oh, I'm not too sure. So it doesn't have to wait for the big things. It should be everyday
Yeah.
things. She sent me the running order for this conversation. She told me when we are getting online, we got online. I got online. There were 2 people already in the studio.
Yeah.
So if I have any challenges, and that then feeds into excellence. So you would also see that the values will not be standalone. They actually feed into different things. So what will bring this into a daily livelihood for an organization is when we embed the values into behaviors and our regular operating days. That's it. So, how we engage with customers,
Yeah.
whatever we're sending out must be excellent.
Right.
So that's for me is culture. It's how we're doing it. It's not that don't let us we can hear and read a lot of big things and let's just bring it down home. So if I'm meeting with HR people, they have a lot already. Mommy, you are not now coming to add the HR and big definitions and culture and let's
Mm.
bring and culture is the one thing that if we sat around the table, no matter what role you play, you should be interested in because it affects you. Everybody. You're a CMO, you're CTO, CHRO, CEO, CFO, it affects you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Amazing. Very, very insightful. Whew. Okay, I'm looking forward to 30th April. Anyone watching us, you should be looking forward to 30th April. This is
Yeah.
just the tip, you know, that she's sharing with us, and she'll dive much into this conversation. So let's look into your session on the 30th of April without revealing too much.
Yay.
What is, yeah, not revealing too much. What is one key idea or perspective from your session that attendees should look forward to?
I'll be looking to dive into how we can turn culture into a capital reserve.
Mm.
Um, this is a very finance oriented conversation I'm going to have
True.
on this idea where we are actually turning culture into dividends in retention and speed. So
Mm.
it is a conversation around people and culture, but we're going to delve into finance, we're going to delve into go to market, so
Mm.
commercial, to show that supernatural, this conversation is not a softy HR
Yeah.
thing, it's a business conversation. So I'm going to introduce a few matrices that will help our colleagues that will be looking to invest in the SEDAT HR conference in April. I mean, this month, we're just a few days. And if you haven't registered and you're still waiting to know the kind of things that will be happening there, you should see by now, if you've been on the conversation with other speakers, that we are looking to share real modern futuristic conversations that move businesses. So for me, this is not a gathering of HR professionals only. This is a conversation that should interest anybody who is looking to grow their businesses or
Yeah.
contribute differently to whatever enterprise they are part of. So the SEDAT 2026 HR conference for me brings to bear the timeliness again as a value for you
Yeah.
guys and the excellence in the curation of a conversation that must be had, not
Mm.
just at that conference, but after the conference in
Right.
different orders.
No, thank you so much. Now I want you to call them out. They are watching you. Let them know. Let us know who is supposed to be in the room, who shouldn't miss the
Mhm.
conference. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what business any HR leader has missing this conference.
Mm.
I know that a lot of things happen in Accra, but guys, Takoradi, one tell one, another one can show.
Mm.
When you come to the coast of Tadi, and especially when it's a serene, where we call
Yeah.
beloved Atlantic Hotel. I mean, a hotel that stands on that hill has been a place we have gathered for everything meaningful in the Western region. If you are looking to miss it, it's almost as though you're looking to kill your career.
Oh.
So I'm looking for HR leaders. Now, don't come alone. You're an HR person leading a team of L&D managers, engagement people, comp and ben leaders. You're looking at administrative professionals.
Mm.
Everybody that matters must be there. Now, interestingly, I'm looking at the topics that I'm seeing and the
Yeah.
conversations we're having, and I'm thinking that we actually need to bring to the room our friends from operations
Mm.
and our friends from the commercial departments. Now, a CFO who is wondering why they have to invest. Why do I have to fly the people to Takoradi? Why do I have to pay for their hotel? Why do I have to? It's a conference that is going to return the investment you are making. Don't look at it as the usual cost. Look at
Right.
this as an investment that is going to come back with the people sharper, more exposed, and more willing to take some risk when it comes to the business. So the people I'm looking for are leaders in our
Yeah.
enterprise, not just restricted to it. As for the HR departments, everybody has to be there. But beyond that, our operations teams, our commercial teams, and our finance teams are going to find the conversation, especially my conversation. I have to be honest. You're going to find my conversation very, very timely in terms of moving your career and moving the business of your organizations.
Right. So you can't afford to miss this year's edition of the conference. You've heard it right from here. Make sure you're in the room and you're going to have the opportunity to ask questions. It's not just going to be a presentation from
No,
here. You have the opportunity to ask questions and your questions will be answered. So you want to make sure you're in the room. Don't hear about the conference. Be in the room, be part
yes.
of the conversation, right? So let me just give few details about the conference and then I'll
Good.
take your last word. Right. So the conference is holding on the 30th of April, few days away, right? And seats are limited. You want to make sure you are registering ASAP, right? Now I have a good news for you. We've given out a discount to the fee for the conference, so you can make sure that you are registering as soon as possible before the slots are finished, right? So initially was 1,550 Ghana cedis for the in person. It's now 715 Ghana cedis. That's quite a discount. So make sure that you are making your payments. That's the 715. That's for the virtual, and then the in person now is the 950 Ghana cedis. All right. So make sure you sign up and you make your payment. You can do a 50% payment before the day of the conference as well. Right. So we have amazing speakers that will be joining us at the conference. You have the opportunity to see Maame Gaisey personally, but then we also have honorable speakers that are joining us, and you want to make sure that you are in the room to be a part of the conversation. There's going to be a networking session at the conference. So it's really packed just for you. So you can't afford to miss any bit of it, right from the pre opening to the opening. The entire content is loaded for you and to help you build an organization that people can trust, that you'll be able to retain and attract the best talent. So make sure that you are in the room with us on the 30th of April. The conference is holding at the Western Syrian Atlantic Hotel in Takoradi. 30th April. Mark that 30th April and make sure that you register now. The registration link has been posted in our comment area, right? Once again, the fee now is 950 Ghana cedis for in person and 715 Ghana cedis for virtual. So make sure that you register right away. Okay, so back to my dear speaker, our dear speaker for the conference. Now, let us know your final words to our audience.
Great. So I'm looking to learn a lot. Obviously, the other speakers I know professionally. I know Felicia. I know my other colleague as well.
Yeah.
And usually, when we go for such conferences, we are so overly focused on the speakers and what they're going to
Yeah.
say. But like you said, I'm looking to engage. For instance,
Mm.
around coffee, um, where people think otherwise about some of the things that we'll be sharing. Let's
Yeah.
hear you. I'll be looking forward to learn from the audiences through their questions.
Mm.
I'm looking to meet people in the fraternity as well in terms of networking. And I'm hoping that we will all come together to make sure that this dream of SEDAT, putting HR conversations on top of the agenda, does not slide down, but it grows into something that will be bigger than Ghana. So for me, my last words, just register quickly.
Yeah.
Just register and pay, and let's
Yes.
see you.
She
Register,
said
pay, and
quickly.
come. Yes, quickly. My last words. Yeah. Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank
Such
you.
an honor having you with us here today. On behalf of SEDA, thank you so much for this time, investing this time, and then the insight that you have shared. And we all look forward to the 30th of April. Once again, make sure you register now and also share this opportunity to the various platforms that you are on to have other professionals sign up and join us on the day. We'll have the we have an amazing keynote speaker who will be with us. That's going to be Honorable Joseph Nelson. He's the Western Regional Minister, and he's going to be in the room on the 30th of April. So you want to be there to hear the insights that he will share with us. We also have a special guest that is Nana Kobina Nketia the Fifth. He's Oman Hene of Isikado traditional area and the president of the Western Regional House of Chiefs. And our other speakers, um, we'll be having Kwame Afre. He's the HR manager at Talugana Limited. He'll be with us right in the room to answer your questions. We have Madam Felicia Opoku Felice. She's the head of HR and administration at Taka Ghana. And yes, we'll be having Maame Gaisey, managing partner 565. So you don't want to miss this opportunity at all, where you can ask any question, and you have those questions answered, and you have the opportunity to network with other professionals, you know. So make sure that you are signing up now, and make payments, right? We look forward to having you in the room with us on the 30th of April for this insightful conversation on authentic employer branding, purpose, people, and public trust. Right. Thank you once again for joining in today's conversation. I believe that it has been really insightful, and you can even begin to put into practice a few things from what our speaker has shared with us today. Right. Once again, the SEDAT HR Digest is brought to you by SEDAT Consult Limited, your trusted HR partner, and we are live every Sunday at 4 p.m. We look forward to having you join us next Sunday. And whenever you join us in our comment section, let us know who you are and where you're watching us from, because we are so glad to have you always join us. All right. Thank you for joining today's session, and we look forward to having another session with you next week, Sunday at 4 p.m. Have a great week ahead.
Hello, it's Patricia Blakisi, your host for the SEDAT HR Conference 2026 Takoradi Edition. This year, we've carefully put together industry experts and professionals to discuss the theme, authentic employer branding, purpose, people, and public trust. Joining us will be Maame Gaisey, Managing Partner, 565, Kwame Afre, Head of HR, Talo Ghana Limited, Felicia Opoku Felice, Head of HR Administration, Taka Ghana. Our special guest is Nana Kobina Nketia the Fifth, Oman of Isikado traditional area and President of the Western Regional House of Chiefs. And our keynote speaker is Honorable Joseph Nelson, Western Regional Minister. I can't wait to host you.
Let me ask you a quick question. If someone asks your employees today, what is it really like to work in your organization? What would they say? This is exactly the conversation we'll be having at the SEDAT HR Conference 2026 in Takoradi. Call 059-140-5555 and be part of the conversation. A very big thank you to our sponsors and partners: Western Serene Atlantic Hotel, Human Nova by 3S Technologies, HR Network Africa, SHRP, My Health Corp, Rivia Ghana, Women Incorporated, Good News FM, and Sky Power FM. If you want to be part of the sponsors, please call 0244 629245. See you in Takoradi.
The SEDAT HR Conference 2026 is here. Western Region, are you ready? Join us on 30th April 2026 at the prestigious Western Serene Atlantic Hotel, Takoradi, for the 5th edition of the SEDAT HR Conference. This edition will discuss authentic employer branding, purpose, people, and public trust. Gain insight from Felicia Opoku-Felicia, Head of HR and Administration, Taka Ghana, Kwame Afren, HR Manager, Talo Ghana Limited, and Maame Gaisey, Managing Partner, 565 Consulting. Keynote address from Honorable Joseph Nelson, Western Regional Minister, and our special guest of honor, Nana Kobina Nketia V, Oman Hinin of Isikado Traditional Area and President of the Western Regional House of Chiefs. Are you a CU, HR professional, corporate communication executive, business owner, or a corporate leader? Then this conference is for you. Registration is opened in person 1,150 Ghana cedis, virtual 1,250 Ghana cedis. To register, visit hrconference.sedatconsultlimited.com or call 0591405555. Transform your workplace, strengthen your people strategy, and lead with impact. This edition of the SEDAT HR Conference is brought to you by SEDAT Consult Limited in partnership with Western Serene Atlantic Hotel, Good News FM, Cambridge College of Excellence, Rivia, My Health Corp, HR Network, SHRP, Sky Power, Human Nova by 3S Technologies, and Women Incorporated. See you there.